Good morning everybody. Hi, welcome to the Little Likac vlog, November vlogs for 2023. Today we're doing something a little bit different, and it is the 11th of November, Armistice Day, and I've actually come to a village about 5 miles from where I live, so really close by. There is an item at the church here that's made the national news over the last couple of weeks, and as it is literally just a few miles from me, I thought I would come up and take a look. I am filming right by somebody's house, I hope they don't mind. I was trying to find somewhere quiet and a bit secluded to record. So I am filming this just at the end of a cul-de-sac a few hundred metres from the church. A couple of cars have just gone by. I'm literally standing at the end of somebody's drive, which I feel a little bit bad about, but there's a little brick wall that I could put the tripod on, and it's a little bit secluded, and I didn't really feel it was appropriate to record myself like this in the churchyard. So what we're going to go and see is a crochet memorial for Remembrance Sunday, Armistice Day, 11th of November. And it's a life-size crochet model of a soldier from the First World War. As I say, it has made the national news, and I thought it would be really nice to come up and have a look at it, and hopefully I want to take some film of it. I might just end up taking photos. There are quite a few cars outside the church. I don't know if that's other people come to see that, or whether there's just something else going on at the church, or the church hall could be just something completely separate from that. So we'll see how we go. I don't want to do anything that anyone would see as disrespectful, so that's why I'm not going to record myself actually in the churchyard. Hopefully I will take some video of the actual crochet soldier. And a big thank you to Suzanne. Suzanne's one of my regular viewers. She actually sent me a link to this a week or so ago and said, I wonder if this is anywhere near you, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's not just near me, it's like a neighbouring village. So thank you so much, Suzanne, for that. Okay, let's go and have a look. So this is the creator of this amazing soldier. This is Jilly, and I had a chance to speak to her, and then she said that she would let me speak to her here.
Who'd have thought 12 balls of wool, a few tie wraps and a roll of chicken wire would cause such an absolute internet sensation.
You deserve it, it's brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's raised a lot of money, so I'm pleased with it.
Absolutely, yeah. Have you got plans for your next creation? Hi, it's 4:15 on Saturday afternoon. I've had a really lovely day today. The most lovely thing I did today was obviously go to the church and visit and see the crochet soldier. So let me tell you about what happened when I arrived and what it was like and what was going on, because it was amazing. So I turned up, walked down into the church. It's quite a modern church from the outside, and there were a few people in the churchyard. They had attached the soldier to a tree trunk, so pretty much right by the gate. So as soon as you walked in, it was there. And there were 5 or 6 people maybe there looking at the soldier, talking. There was a gentleman with kind of like a music box playing, which was lovely. The church was open, and then I could see there was a lady that I thought I recognised, and I thought she looked like the lady in the news articles, the person who'd actually made the soldier. But I didn't want to say, hey, is that you who made the soldier? So she started walking towards me and was smiling, and so I said, hi. I said, did you have something to do with this? And she said, yeah, you could say that. I said, you're the maker, aren't you? She said, yes. So I introduced myself and I explained about the podcast and everything, and she was like really interested straight away. I mean, this lady has been interviewed by the BBC, she's had loads of newspapers, she's had lots of media attention the last week, but she was just as willing to talk to me as she was anybody else. So we had a bit of a chat, and she said, come in and have a cup of tea. So I went into the church, and they were making, they were serving tea and coffee, and they had lots of lovely cake, which they were selling. And the money was going towards the church, and they were also collecting for the British Legion, the Poppy Appeal. I didn't have any cash with me because I just wasn't expecting any of that. I've got my phone, and I can always pay for things by my phone as long as they take card readers. And I said, do you take cards? And they said, well, no. I said, because my local church actually does. When we've gone for the Christingle service with the children and stuff, they now do have a card reader at the church. So I said, if I make a donation online to the Poppy Appeal, could I have a cup of coffee? And they were like, yes, of course, and cake. So that's what I did. I made a donation online, and I sat down, and then the lovely Jilly, the lady who had made the soldier, came over and sat down, and we chatted for about 20-30 minutes. She was so lovely. So she is a knitter and a crocheter. She does yarn bombing. She does a lot of post box toppers, and she decided this time she wanted to do something bigger than that. So yes, and she has a friend who's a photographer, and the village where this is Stanley Common, and Jilly is a member of the Friends of Stanley Common. And when she does her yarn bombing, her friend Colin quite often takes a photo of it and posts it on the local Facebook group, and that's kind of just been it. So she got in contact with her friend and said, I'm going to do a yarn bombing tomorrow morning. And he was like, okay, let me know when you've done it. And he came down, took some photographs, and honestly, this soldier is just amazing. He came down, took some photographs, put it onto the local Facebook page, and within a couple of hours, the BBC, local BBC News or local BBC were in touch with her, asking her if she'd do an interview and everything. She said that she didn't really want to do anything on screen. They said they really wanted her on screen. They said that was part of what would make it interesting to people. So then she did agree to. And she just can't believe how it's just gone viral, which is brilliant though, because she said last weekend, I think she said they had over 3,500 visitors to the church. But it's brilliant because obviously with them serving tea and coffee and selling cake and things like that, they're making money for both the church and for the Poppy Appeal. So it's just brilliant. She can't believe the attention it's had, but I think she's also quite enjoying her, like she said, her sort of like 15 minutes of fame. And there's a brilliant quote, you see it in the video that I took, where she said, who knew that 12 balls of crochet, some chicken wire and some tags would go viral. And she's really quite modest about what she's done. I mean, yes, it took her 180 hours. She did take a note of how much long it had taken, but you know, she just loves crochet aspect of it. She loves making things, and I don't think she was expecting quite the effect it has had on people. So it's just amazing. She said she's had messages from all around the world, and as I say, there was a constant, I wouldn't say constant stream of people there, but there was a constant trickle of people. You know, there were constantly 3 or 4 people looking at the soldier, people going into the church, having a couple. So just brilliant, absolutely amazing. And it was just really lovely because I sat and talked to Jilly for quite a while, and thank you to her for taking the time. I didn't really, you know, I didn't film that conversation. That felt like that would have been like, oh, can I record this? But obviously we took some photos, and I took a little bit of video of the soldier, and then she was quite happy as well for me to film her with it as well. So that was just an amazing chance. And again, just another example of how this community, the knitting and crochet community, when you meet another person from that community, you just get talking. And we talked about stash, and we talked about yarn shows, and we talked about different yarn for different projects. And yeah, just it was like I've known her all my life. It's because you've got that one thing in common, but it's such a big thing. So yeah, what a really, really lovely morning, and I'm so pleased I went, and I'm pleased I went today, because as I say, it was very busy last weekend. I'm going to guess it's going to probably be really busy tomorrow as well, with it actually being Remembrance Sunday tomorrow. So I came home, had some lunch, I took Stu for a walk. I'm not going to show you the video of the walk today. I'll put that in during the week probably, when I won't have so much to show you. And I just want to focus on the soldier today. I just think it should all be about that. It is the 11th of November, and I just think I don't want to get political or controversial. I think the 11th of November is important. I think Armistice Day, Remembrance Sunday, whatever term you want to call it, is important. I think it is important to remember people who have lost their lives. I think it's really important to remember the First and Second World War and how atrocious they were. I guess my frustration is that we still don't seem to have learnt from that. And for me, Armistice Day, Remembrance Sunday isn't necessarily about, it's hard to explain what I think it's about. I think it should be about remembering people who've lost their lives, remembering people who are losing their lives now. And I find it frustrating. We've got the war in Ukraine, the war, conflict, whatever you want to call it, Israel and Gaza. And I just sometimes feel like society and humanity, we don't learn, and that makes me sad. So yeah, armistice, peace. I wish the world was more at peace. And I'm just going to leave it at that. And I think I'll leave today's vlog at that as well. And tomorrow I'll show you what I've knitted and crocheted. I think I just leave the vlog at that today. Thanks everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.